Good. Yep. All right. Good evening, everyone. We'd all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We could have a roll call, please.
Mr. Dixon.
Here.
Mrs. Diglio. Here. Mrs. LaFois. Here. Mrs. Teets. Here. Mayor Kus.
Here. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this regular meeting was given to the two newspapers of record and posted on the official bulletin board on January 5th, 2024. I'll now entertain a motion to approve the March 11th, 2024 special meeting minutes.
I will make the motion to approve the March 11, 2024 special meeting.
Second.
Any discussion or changes needed?
One very, very minor one that I gave to Terry.
Do you remember what it was?
It was it's supposed to be a she instead of a he.
Very good.
Typo error.
Okay, roll call?
Mr. Dixon.
Yes.
Mrs. Diglio. Yes. Mrs. LaFois.
Yes.
Mrs. Teets.
Yes.
Mayor Kus.
Yes. I'll now entertain a motion to approve the March 11th, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
I will make the motion to approve the March 11, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
And I will second the March 11, 2024 regular meeting.
Any changes or discussion on those?
No.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Dixon.
Yes.
Mrs. Diglio. Yes. Mrs. LaFois.
Yes.
Mrs. Teets.
Yes.
Mayor Kus.
Yes. At this point in the meeting, the town council welcomes comments from any member of the public on any topic. To help facilitate an orderly meeting and to permit the opportunity for everyone who wishes to be heard, speakers are asked to take one turn at the microphone and please limit their comments to 3 minutes. The clerk will keep time. If reading from a prepared statement, please provide a copy and email a copy to the clerk's office after making your comments so it may be properly reflected in the minutes. Council may choose to comment after the entire public portion has concluded. Please identify yourself and spell your last name for the record. As is customary, we'll start with anyone who would like to speak in person. I think you're up.
Good evening. My name is Helen Heckman, Heckman. I live at 27 Donald Avenue in Newton. I wanted to talk about 3 things tonight. The first is I visited Pine Street Park the other day, and thank you very much for it's just wonderful. All the work that you've been doing, the clean, everything has just been great. So thank you very, very much. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I've been fighting with a number of other people, with everyone in the world, to do something for the Dennis Library for the last almost 10 months. And finally, we're really on the brink of approving a revised plan for the Dennis Library. The only thing that's the holdout is that the revised plan is going to cost a little more money, less than originally planned. But this week's meeting, with the help of God, we're going to talk about approving the changes for the Dennis Library, which will benefit every citizen in our town and many of the citizens in our county. So I have a copy of the revised plans, but I don't know that it's my purview to hand out copies of revised plans to the library. So if anybody's interested, I'd be happy to give you one. But in any event, I just wanted to give you that update and again say thank you for your support. Initially, when we got started, it was great. The third thing is I had an incident. I don't have time in 3 minutes to discuss it, where the shuttle for the senior citizens came into serious question. I'm wondering if we can get more shuttles, if they can come around more often. I don't know anything about the shuttle. If there's anybody here that knows a lot about it or wants to talk about the senior shuttle, is it the town's purview, the county's purview? So I'll fight with the county happily. One minute. Okay, so what can you tell me about the shuttle?
Are you talking about the town senior shuttle or the county senior shuttle?
Are there two?
Yes.
Are there only two?
Well,
I mean,
Yeah.
two actual vehicles.
I don't know how many vehicles the county has. We have the ones.
I'm sorry,
We have one. I'm not sure how many the county has for their
okay.
transport.
I was in town at a store when there was something untoward happened. So I'm wondering if that would be the town. I guess we can't tell if it was the town and it was white. I have no idea whose it was.
So Mrs. Heckman, if I might make a recommendation, since, you know, we have a limited time here, this might be better for an offline conversation and we can connect you with Mr. Russo offline and we can figure out, you know, go into much more detail about what happened and
If we need
Yeah.
more, I'd be happy to fight for that or help get that.
sure.
Okay.
and part of
Okay.
part of the equation is knowing which of the shuttles, right?
Well, it doesn't matter. We need more. So I'm sure we need more because there are an awful lot of old people like me who need to get around. So,
Chief, do you know how many the county has by any chance?
I don't, I know they run two, there's a loop,
Uh-huh.
I think an A and a B loop. I think there's two that they run in that loop, but I'm not 100%.
okay, well, I will make,
For you.
I'm sorry. I will make a point of following up on this. Okay. But in the interim, let's go library and thank you for the park.
All right, anyone else in public who'd like to speak or in person, rather? Not seeing anyone, we'll transition to Zoom. If you'd like to speak, please indicate so by raising your hand. All right, not seeing anyone, we'll close that portion to the meeting. We'll move on to council and manager reports, beginning with town manager Russo.
Thanks, Mayor. Just a friendly reminder, municipal offices are closed this Friday for Good Friday and want to wish everyone in the community a very happy Easter. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Council member Dixon.
Yeah, just a couple things. So we had our historic preservation advisory committee meeting on March 18th. We reorganized the board. Mr. Porter was selected to be the chairperson and Mr. Kaplan, the vice chairperson. Prior to the meeting, Dan Finkel had submitted his resignation letter from the committee, citing recent appointments leave the board in a good position for him to step down and focus on growing personal and professional responsibilities. So I just wanted to thank Dan for his time serving on the committee. And the committee also heard 3 applications. One was for a deck replacement and addition of planters on High Street, a porch replacement on Liberty, and a new building on Spring Street. After hearing testimony and also suggestions and conditions were handed out, all 3 applications were voted on and approved by the commission. And that is all I have.
Thank you. Council member Diglio.
Okay, I have several things. Okay. On March 16th, of course, we had the St. Patrick's Day Parade. And that pretty much went off without, well, I should say with just a few little glitches. And on behalf of the committee, the Chamber of Commerce, the town, I would like to thank the participants, the sponsors, the police, the DPW, and all the volunteers who helped to make the parade such a great event. On March 22nd, we had our first official Memorial Day Parade and ceremony meeting over at the VFW, and assignments were handed out to the different people. And we'll be meeting in several weeks to continue that. On March 24th, oh, I should go back, March 22nd, we had an EDC luncheon over at Poise Restaurant. And the purpose was to see what we can do to bring attention to that particular restaurant in that location. So Monica, myself, and Kimberly had quite a discussion and came up with quite a few ideas, which Kimberly will be discussing with the owner at Poise. Then on March 24th, I got the opportunity to attend the senior luncheon in the high school play. And this is the first time that I actually attended the luncheon as a senior. As Helen can testify, I did go to help earlier, but it was already done when I got there. So I had the pleasure of just being able to talk to the different seniors and to enjoy the lunch. And then the play, Addams Family, was phenomenal. I can't believe that these were students that were performing. Their voices, they were absolutely phenomenal. I congratulate the high school students on that play. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Teets.
I'll just echo Sandy's comments about the parade. I thought it was wonderful. I bought the good weather again, so there was a chance of rain in the beginning of the week, but I came through there in the end. But yeah, it was a really good parade. Tons of positive comments after the parade and for days after the parade, which was really good. I only saw 2 minor complaints, and we'll discuss that amongst the parade committee and see if we can come to some kind of resolution on the 2 complaints that I saw. But other than that, it was a really great event, well attended. I ran out of candy. I apologize. I will bring more. And then I also attended the senior luncheon yesterday, and Danielle and Barbara, they did an excellent job in the rec committee that they have, all the volunteers. So as most of you know, I like to be hands-on and I need something to do, and there wasn't really a lot to do by the time I got there, and I got there early. So, but it was a good time and it was fun to talk to some people, and so just want to thank them for their efforts and look forward to the next events. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Laffois.
Yes, so I just want to congratulate the Newton High School FBLA for their recent accomplishments. Lots of awards won by lots of students. The club continues to keep Newton bringing home those trophies, and I was reading through on Top Into Newton all the different categories that the FBLA students compete in, and there certainly are a lot more categories than when I was in high school, having everything to do with technology, to business planning, to social media, and all kinds of things. So super excited for that team, led by the ILIFs, and for their continued success as some of the students move on to the next level. As was mentioned, attended the senior luncheon yesterday. I think we had about 45 seniors or so. The recreation committee and Danielle and Barbara did a fantastic job, as always. Many of the seniors were attended via their own transportation, others by the senior bus, and everybody, I think, had a great time and enjoyed themselves, and certainly the nice weather. The next festivities are this coming weekend. The Easter egg hunt is on Saturday. Really geared towards kids 10 and under, but after the hunt in the cafeteria, the Easter Bunny will be there for pictures and arts and crafts and things like that. So come out and join us. Michelle, can you put the weather on for Saturday?
Yes,
Okay,
I'm
good.
working on it.
Good,
but-
thanks. The mayor and I attended the planning board meeting last Wednesday, the March Planning Board. We had resolutions for 113 Main Street for converting the existing structure into 4 residential apartments. We had 4 Grace Avenue, again, apartments, G&A Fuel looking for a minor site plan and C variance application to construct a canopy. So that's Busy Bee. To put a canopy up over the gas tanks, and then Thor Labs in for the Diller Avenue redevelopment construction add-on to an existing building that's there. So pretty successful meeting, in addition to some historic resolutions that were discussed and moved. I also want to thank everyone involved in the St. Patrick's Day Parade, certainly the planning committee. Thank you, Michelle and Sandy, for serving on that committee. The Newton Fire Department for being the host, again, for really what's considered the county St. Patrick's Day Parade. We were reflecting that we think it was the best attendance in several years, if not ever. People were lined up from Lower Spring Street all the way down to Moran. And I heard several comments about it being the longest parade from a good perspective, meaning we had so many participants. So I want to thank everyone from all over the county, even from Morris County, who participated. I'm glad that we had that Saturday, not the previous Saturday, because the Morris County Parade was the previous Saturday and they got a lot of rain. I certainly want to thank our Newton Police Department, our DPW, people, a team for just keeping everyone safe. And, I think the street was cleaned up and reopened, like right after the parade, which was amazing. So another great showing, I think, for the town of Newton. One unsung hero, I think, is Mark Hantz. And I just always look forward to kind of coming back around because we're at the front of the parade to hear Mark's commentary. And he does a great job of making sure he recognizes all the groups, but he has such institutional knowledge about so many of the groups and then the town and like the history of things. And he just does a really excellent job. And I know Kimberly records and we have that historically, but he and his family are just such great stewards of that parade and all of our parades, really. I had the opportunity to attend the Daisy Tricky Tray this last Friday. So that's our local domestic violence organization. So Kimberly was there, Rachel Bucci from Recreation was there. A few other people, Planet Networks had a big sponsorship and showing. It was a sold out event. They did a great job. It was at Stillwater Fire Department. So hopefully lots of good money raised for Daisy, which is the local, like I mentioned, domestic violence and sexual assault organization supporting Sussex County. Also wanted to congratulate Joey White being promoted to our sewer foreman position. Thank you to Tom and everyone that's helped promote the First Hometown Heroes banners program. I believe 45 banners have been sponsored, so we're super excited to get those up in and around the community in advance of Memorial Day. And I think finally on April 21st, and I want to get this out to our families, in particular, at Newton Theater on April 21st, they are hosting a sensory-friendly movie matinee showing the Trolls movie. And for $10, it benefits Autism New Jersey. Sensory-friendly, meaning the lights will be up, the kids will be encouraged to enjoy, bless you, the event however they want to enjoy it. The doors open at 2:00 with pre-show activities, including face painting, door prizes from local businesses, various local vendors on site, including the YMCA, more vendors to be announced. And then the movie starts at 3:00. So for our students in the schools, I think Danielle Zito's on, and families who want to attend, I think this is going to be a great event. And just looking at my notes, want to wish everybody a happy Holy Week this week and a blessed Easter for those celebrating this Sunday. And Mary, I think that's it for me.
Thank you very much. I think the only thing that I will add, to emphasize the, brilliance maybe that parade was, I've been attending parades here in town for, around 30 years or so, my entire life. And I think I can confidently say that was hands down the best parade that I have ever seen in this town. Maybe we need to, shoot a little more towards what was going on when like Teddy Roosevelt came to town. I think that may have been the best attended parade ever. But there's room to grow. There's room to grow. So moving on, we have the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the town council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the council member so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Mr. Russo, if you wouldn't mind a rundown, please.
Sure. 100 is compensation adjustments that are in the 2024 budget. Employees not covered by collective bargaining or individual contracts. 101 is shared service with Hardwick Township to provide animal control. 102 is a refund. 103 cancels outstanding court checks. 104 is a contract to TNS Construction for renovations to Newton Firehouse 1. 105 is the authorization to purchase Ford F-250 for DPW and bills and vouchers.
Thank you very much. Are there any resolutions or that anyone would like to remove for discussion separately? No? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I will second the consent agenda as presented.
A roll call?
Mr. Dixon,
Yes.
Mrs. Diglio,
Yes, except I need to abstain on check number 10402.
Mrs. LaFois,
Yes.
Mrs. Teets,
Yes.
Mayor Kus.
I will also be abstaining from check number 10402. Yes, otherwise. We'll now move to our second public session. The same rules as the first apply. If anyone in person would like to speak, please step forward. Not seeing anyone, we'll transition to Zoom. If anyone on Zoom would like to speak, please indicate so by raising your hand. Not seeing anyone, we'll close the second public to the the second session to the public. And we'll move on to any final manager or council member comments.
I just want to thank Mrs. Heckman for coming in and giving us an update and being really our, such a strong advocate and constantly keeping at the forefront our partners at the county with regards to the Dennis Library. I can remember even calls remotely on Zoom with the county several years ago, and you were participating and really just keeping that top of mind. It's such an important resource, as you mentioned, to the whole community, to our seniors that are within walking distance. There's rarely a Saturday morning that I drive by, there's not somebody going in and out of that library. It is, so I just wanted to thank you for, and of course, your comments on Pine Street Park and then comments about the senior shuttle, but thanks for carrying the torch on the library.
It's, if you have it, if you have them to distribute, we'll take copies. Yeah, it's a unique and important aspect of our town, and it's nice to have such a dedicated steward of the library, if you will.
We have so many dedicated students. We really do. We're very blessed.
All right, as Mrs. Heckman is passing that out, we have a resolution to discuss during the executive session, and I'll entertain a motion to enter executive session.
So moved.
I'll second.
A roll call?
Before we go in, Mr. Mayor, the first item relates to animal control. The chief is going to be a participant in it. He has not received a rice notice based on the last minute situation. So I'd like him to state on the record, he has no problems not having been given a notice. And if he wishes to participate in the discussion, but he will not participate in any deliberation.
I have no issue discussing, and I waive the notice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Roll call?
Mr. Dixon,
Yes.
Mrs. Diglio,
Yes.
Mrs. LaCroix,
Yes,
Mrs. Teets,
Yes.
Mayor Kus.
Yes.
thanks for being here.